Welcome back, everyone. Welcome back to another week, another edition of the PiGosaur Monday number 11. It is good to be back. I'm of course Live VIP with you. I'm joined by these amazing players, the people in the chat, and by my plushies as well. Welcome, one and all, and I do apologize for not being able to cover this live. Yes, this is going to be a replay cast. If you're in the chat, you would see, you would notice, I should say, the title of the stream does signify replay cast. For those that are curious, this tournament, these events transpired a couple of hours ago, and unfortunately I just couldn't quite cover it live. Unfortunately, basically last night after TV Monday, after I handed over the stream to Kuro to cover Ducklings Open, I went to bed, and I was in bed. I was lying there for 6 hours. I don't know why, I just could not I could not force myself to go to sleep. So I was just lying there for a solid 6 hours. And then I looked over, and it was like 1.5 hours away from PiGosaur Monday starting. I'm like, well, what do I do? For a moment, I contemplated maybe I should just pull an all-nighter and just cast it live. But I did very quickly realize that I was very fatigued. I was not able to focus correctly. Even though I couldn't sleep, I was just, I knew it wouldn't be a good cast. It wouldn't be a good cast, so in the end, I did end up falling asleep. I think I fell asleep like 45 minutes before PiGosaur Monday, I want to say, or like around that. So eventually did get some rest, did get some sleep, and now we're here. Now we're back. Now it's time to catch up on the broadcast we missed out on. Let's go. PiGosaur Monday, of course, is an event that is more catered towards the Americas and Korean time zone. Less European representation as a result. Not impossible. Some European players do compete. Players like Clem, players like Max, players like Geralt, Wayne, Nickrat as well. The DJ and Spappy, they're willing to take part. They're willing to compete in these events. And yeah, shout out to all the European players that do stay up for this. They stay up until like, what, 4, 5, 6 a.m. in the morning. Is always a great sight to see. But we have our matches ahead of us. Let's go, Pappy. Let's go. Just catching up with the chat. DJ, exactly. Unironically, Smooge. I'm a little bit concerned. Hopefully, I can force myself to go to sleep tonight, because I do have another cast. I mean, as always, we have another cast tomorrow morning. The Code for Giants Cup is in 12 hours. 13. Code for Giants Cup is in 13 hours time. So hopefully we can cast, we can get through the day's events, the night's events even, go to bed and wake up in time for Code for Giants Cup. I will try and force myself to sleep, Pappy. I'll do my best. And yeah, well, hopefully without any issues, we should be casting Code for Giants Cup tomorrow. Fingers crossed on that one. Fingers crossed. Regardless, we have our first series here before us. It's going to be a PvP between Astrea and ReBellioN. Also, shout out to all those in the chat as well. I do see Setsuna, I Stan, Baby Links as well. I see Kuro. I did notice Sounder earlier as well. Hapsaya. Bienvenidos. It's good to see you all. Hope you've all been having a great day as we are rounding out the year. Double checking here. Yeah, we don't actually have that many PiGosaur Mondays remaining in the year of 2024. Oh boy, as we're kind of winding things down and wrapping up December. Crazy, Bob, crazy. Aye. Also, a bit of a reminder as well, we will be also casting PiGosaur Monday next week via replays. Next week I will be unavailable, unfortunately, to cast on on Christmas Eve and Christmas Day. So we'll be moving those casts over to a different day instead. But we'll catch up though. We'll catch up. Sleep medicine course, Pappy. Oh no. If only. But regardless, we have our first series. Up first is going to be Astrea versus ReBellioN. Also, I misspoke. Astrea, he is known for off-racing every now and then, especially, well, even against some semi-pro players, he's willing to off-race. So instead of playing Protoss, it is going to be a Terran matchup instead. Let's go. It's almost like the inverse of Clem, where Clem does off races Protoss, or does main races Protoss against other top Terran players. This is a little bit different though. Astrea likes to play Terran, but typically against lower MMR players. So it's a little bit different here with how Astrea and Clem do approach it, and we'll see if Astrea can get away with it. We've seen him punished for off racing before by some of these other semi-pro players. I believe I recall seeing Eon do that, and Eon forcing Astrea to the ace match. We'll see if ReBellioN can do the same as we're jumping into game number 1. Let's go. It's going to be on Neon Violet Square. Here we go. The weather blows right now. I think part of it was the weather, like because I was trying to go to bed at like 6 a.m. in the morning because we finished up the Warrior TV cast and it ended very late. Because I was going to bed so late as well, that's when the sun was rising and it was getting really hot, and I just could not sleep in the hot weather. I couldn't do it. I think that might be part of it. But regardless, we're getting into our first series of the night, and spawning in the top left-hand corner of Neon Violet Square, we have the South Korean Protoss player, the blue Protoss. It is ReBellioN. And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner, we have the American Terran player, usually Protoss, but off racing as Terran. It is Astrea. Here we go. Air conditioning calls. Imagine having aircon, baby. Imagine sleeping with aircon. That I'm less sure about. But for now, we do have our initial openers here. We're going to be loading into a much larger map. In the map pool, the largest map of the map pool, Neon Violet Square, of course. Don't get larger than that. Very long rush distance by ground. Very secure natural base that you can expand to as well. Very safe natural, so you can get into a very clean 3-base economy quite easily. But typically in this matchup, you would actually, or typically in most matchups, you would avoid this pocket base and take it as a 4th or as a 5th base later on down the line. Your initial 5-base setup here is quite secure, quite close-knit as well. The 6th base is more exposed, whether it's the gold or towards the north instead. That's where the game can get a little bit more difficult when it comes to protecting your fringe bases, but gearing up towards the mid to late game is seen a lot more commonly here on Neon Violet Square. I don't think that Astrea necessarily wants to go into a longer game against ReBellioN. Astrea, he's typically much more aggressive and assertive in the mid game when it comes to his Terran play, so that's what I'm expecting here out of Astrea. For now, economic start though. Single gas opener, ranks expand out of Astrea. ReBellioN across the map just going for his own gate expand into Cybercore, gate cyber expand as well. So standard openers all around. Astrea is opening up economically initially. No cheese, no aggression yet, but my eyes are going to be on Astrea here to see when and where he does take that 3rd base. For now, just scouting, just checking his fringe locations. Is he going to go for a 3rd seat? No shot. Just scouting the pocket base, making sure there's no crazy proxy Stargate, for example. Back when this map was in the meta, proxy Stargate was very much so viable, and we would often see it. And Astrea, he is going 3cc before factory. He's crazy. Oh, short CC. Has the money for it. There it is. Command center gets thrown down. This is arguably the greediest build you could go for. This is insanely greedy here, and it's on ReBellioN to figure out what's going on. He's trying to delay the CC here at the natural. Little does he know that the 3rd base is also being taken as well. So hyper greed here from Astrea. It almost looks like I'm casting Spirit. Spirit is also likewise at times a very greedy player as well. And if Astrea gets away with this, then he's going to snowball out of control in the mid game. It's insane just how fast this 3rd base is going to be for Astrea. Back at home, ReBellioN opening up Stargate. Things are looking quite good here for Astrea. A Stargate play is designed to harass, that is true, is designed to gain map control as well, but not really designed to punish a greedy build like this. Like Phoenix's Oracles, they can't really stop the expansion itself. They can try to hinder the economy and the mineral lines, that is true, but Astrea, I mean, he can just focus on defending his natural and his main, and should be fine. So I'm very concerned here for Astrea. Behind this, so 3cc into 3 racks here from Astrea. I was referring to Spirit earlier, but this is also a Beyond build as well. Even Beyond doesn't get his 3rd CC on location, but again, he's willing to do this. If you recall, in the last season, Beyond would often whip out this build on Site Delta. Very often on Site Delta on some of these more larger macro maps. Here, we're seeing it on Neon Violet Square. As Astrea is going to be moving out. Back at home, ReBellioN setting a ReBellioN taking into a Twilight Council. Ooh, this tells us that it's not going to be a big commitment into Stargate play. We're going to be opening up with a single Oracle and only 1 Oracle, so no additional Stargates. What this also means is that ReBellioN, he will have less map control, and he's going to have delayed charge, I would imagine, or delayed blink. Regardless, the tech itself is going to be far later, which means the gateway units themselves are going to be, for the most part, stuck at home and less useful here in the early to mid game. So ReBellioN, he's relinquishing map control. The Oracle moves out, gets eyes on the 3-rack setup. Going for the SCVs. SCVs are going to be going down, not bad. Getting 3, getting up to 4 SCVs already. Yeah, Astrea, late to react, late to respond. Yeah, did not react anywhere near fast enough. That's going to be 7 SC vehicles. Very nice damage. Very nice damage here by ReBellioN. A strong start. If only there wasn't a 3rd CC. It's one of those things where, like, this would have been amazing if this was a standard 2-base opener, but because of the 3rd CC, Astrea, he can maintain those losses. He can force some of those losses here and try and replenish and try and replace. And ReBellioN still doesn't know. He still doesn't know what build or what build he's been up against. Ay, ay, ay. Not like this. Oracle's being active. Gets a Revelation off. Likewise, going to be Blink, not Charge from ReBellioN. Astrea does confirm. Does get a full scout of the main base. Is fully aware of what's going on. For the most part. Likewise, Oracle dives back in. 2 more SCVs. Oh, 3 more SCVs. Stim is not yet done. Not bad. Meanwhile, the Reaper, I believe, got 1 probe kill. But is shut down. At least got full scouting information. I mean, that was the goal here of the Reaper scouts. So Astrea, I'm sure, feeling quite comfortable with at least what he's seen. When it comes to his losses, though, that's going to be 10 worker kills in total. The worker counts are still neck and neck. Astrea is still up on bases, plus mules. Bear that in mind. So Astrea still has the better economy. And is gearing off of that Stim timing. Stim is now done. Combat shields as well. And Astrea should soon move out. Now, thankfully, ReBellioN does have a stasis trap here to try to get an eye on any kind of move out. And he's being active. Blink is still not done. Being chronoed as we speak. ReBellioN moving out, taking a 3rd base. Checking the production. 4 gates blink here from ReBellioN. But again, it was a delayed 4-gate blink. So more macro-oriented than anything. Stasis goes off. Not bad. Stasis does go off. ReBellioN, he could try to engage here. And pick off some Marines. First Marine goes down. Astrea doesn't quite follow it in towards those squares. Into the Machiko machine. Not this time. Astrea backs up. Stasis runs out. Stim is available. He does stim part of his army. Forcing back the Stalkers. Going for a double drop. Ooh, which ReBellioN does miss. Oh. Does miss the drop. ReBellioN getting ready here to push in towards that natural. And he will get the Revelation. He does spot the main army, but he doesn't spot the drop. And does he recall? Does he have a warp in? But now picking up a Marauder. Astrea diving into the main. ReBellioN baiting the army out. Oh, trying to at least. Yeah, Astrea, he does notice. Back in the main base. There's no warp in. There's no warp in. Oh, no recall either. There's not enough energy for a recall. Yeah, gateways are being depowered. And this one double drop doesn't just end the game. ReBellion's still racing back home. And we have slow lots to defend. Charge gets denied. There's the recall. The recall will help. Oof. Stalkers are getting picked up. The force field working against ReBellioN here. Astrea, he picks up. He gets the hell out of here. There's no more recall, which means Astrea can now strike the 3rd. There's how many gateways? There's 3 gates up and running. Stasis goes off. Gets triggered. Nice bait out of Astrea. These are the stasis, and ReBellioN is getting pulled apart. There's no shield battery. No shield battery. No static defense. No energy overcharge. And Astrea, he will overwhelm. ReBellioN is trying to keep up, but bleeding out Stalkers. Stalkers that he cannot easily replace. The gateways, they're still not up. Ay, ay, ay. They're still not up. And Astrea can just come in from behind as well if he so chose to. Doesn't quite get the expansion, almost. I feel like if he consolidated his army, he could even get more damage. Gateway is now up and running. ReBellioN, he can warp in. Let's go. Astrea coming in for the surround. Yeah, comes in from behind. Catches out the Stalkers. They all go down. And so will the 3rd base. Like, ReBellioN just cannot keep up. Not anymore. Not with this kind of army. And GG gets called. Astrea takes game number 1. Whew. GG. GG, well played. Astrea does take a lead in the series. Again, really unfortunate that ReBellioN, he missed the drop. He missed the double drop. Likewise, he had no observer or nothing to scout the dead space outside of his main. Likewise, didn't really have many warp-ins available or a recall either. There was the base, yes, but there was no energy. There was not enough energy for a recall, so everything just went from bad to worse with that one double drop, and with that, GG. GG, well played. Astrea does take the first game, does take a lead in the series, and we'll see if ReBellioN can bounce back. As we're getting into game number 2. Let's go. Game 2 is going to be on Whispers of Gold. And spawning in the top left-hand corner of Whispers of Gold, we have the South Korean Protoss player, the Blue Protoss. Down in the series, we'll see if he can bounce back. It is ReBellioN. And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner, we have the American Terran player, typically Protoss, but now is rocking that Terran flag. The red Terran, it is Astrea. Here we go. So we are going to settle in. So far, so good. As again, Astrea, he didn't do anything too crazy last game either. I mean, I say that. I should emphasize he didn't do anything overly aggressive in the early game last game. He was crazy in the sense that he rushed into a third CC and he got away with it. And with that, he snowballed out of control. This time, double gas. Okay, double gas opener out of Astrea. This will lead into a faster factory. Delayed CC. Last game on Neon Violet Square, we saw hyper greed. This time we're seeing more aggressive play out of Astrea, and it makes sense as we're loading into almost the direct opposite of Neon Violet Square here on Whispers of Gold, a much smaller map. Much smaller map in the map pool, much more exposed bases. Aggression is favored on Whispers of Gold, and we'll see how Astrea approaches this. Probe Scout dips in. Well, he wants that SCV. Oh, he wants it. Uno más. Doesn't quite get it. Doesn't quite get the worker, does not scout the gases, is going to be forced out of the main, and the Reaper is on the way. Reaper is in production. Really getting forced back, trying to pivot back around, trying to get a realize or get a scout on what's going on. Factory's on the way. Does confirm there is no CC on the low ground, not yet. And ReBellioN, he has a better idea of what exactly is happening. I mean, better idea just because, for all intents and purposes, Astrea could have a CC on the high ground. Like, unironically, there could be a CC further back, and it could be a fake out, so really ReBellioN has no confirmation yet, just an idea of what's happening. The chances are it's quite high, it's going to be double gas into factory, but in the back of ReBellion's mind, there could be a CC on the high ground instead. That is a possibility. As Astrea moves out, so getting ready for his 1-1-1. There we go, CC on the high ground, speaking of. Astrea playing it out safe. Trying to knock himself over the wall, alas, unable to. Is unable to knock himself in. Will pull away, and Astrea is getting and settling into his own Widowmine drop. Now, with a double gas opener, this can be a triple or even quadruple Widowmine drop. We'll see how committed Astrea is going to be. Widowmines are amassing. This time ReBellioN going to be opening up Twilight Council. This makes sense on a much smaller map. It is so risky opening up Stargate on a map as small as Whispers of Gold. Astrea still trying to knock himself in, unable to. Forced out. And checking his vision, Astrea, he did not see the tech. He's in the dark. The chances of this being a Twilight Council is quite high. But again, Astrea doesn't quite know yet. Rotating around. Behind this, the Widowmines are amassing. We're about to have two. I imagine we're going to be having 3 Widowmines here by the time the Medivac moves out. Oh, never mind. Going for the add-on instead of the 3rd Widowmine. Okay. So double Widowmine drop. Faster tech lab, faster tank production as a result, or even an add-on swap into Banshees. But there is no add-on swap, going to be a Liberator follow-up instead. So the aggression continues for Astrea. It all starts with a Mine Drop. Mine Drop across the map. Tank production has already begun. CC just now being landed. And the tank count is going to get quite high quite quickly. As Astrea, he is moving in. Rotating over towards the main. ReBellioN, he does react in time. Does pull the boys. Sapphire does react well. Oh! Launcher going off. Takes down 2 probes. And Blink isn't done. Blink is not done. Astrea, he gets away. So far, good value. 2 probes, gets away with the Widowmines. He can always dive back in and get even more damage. And ReBellioN, he's aware of the drop and he's stuck at home. He's going to be stuck at home as a result. That does create an opening here for Astrea. He moves out with his main army. He's got a tank, he's got a Liberator, he's got Marines. Drops in towards the natural. Still needs more time for those mine shots. Oh! They do resets. They get 1, they get 4 probes in total. Oh, no save on the Widowmines. Blink barely not available, barely not in time. Liberator here towards the main. Probe's going to be going down, and here comes the main force towards the natural. And ReBellion's being pulled apart. Yeah, the Stalkers are distracted. There is no 3rd base. Instead, we can go for the Robo. We can go for the Artosis Pylon. Pylon is exposed. Astrea playing it safe, going for the Gateway. Liberator takes down the Stalker. 7 probe kills as well. The gateway will fall. Nice pick off here from Astrea. Blink is now done. Doesn't test his luck. ReBellioN dives in. Goes to dive. Takes down the tank. Nice pick off here by ReBellioN. He will lose 1. 2 Stalkers in the process. Ooh, 2 Stalkers go down. Still a better trade for ReBellioN if he hadn't lost all those probes. And another tank has arrived. Astrea, he just keeps rallying. Nice tank shots. Upon only having 1 tank, though, he backs off. If Astrea saved, or if he had reinforced in time to save that first tank, then he could keep going. Once again, the siege. Oh my god. The tank volleys are brutal. Very nice positional play here by Astrea. Shuts down the Stalkers. Pulls back once again. ReBellioN forced to go the long way around. His third base was heavily delayed as well, bear that in mind. Late third for the Protoss. Fortunately behind this for upgrades. Still only just Blink. Stalkers, they do roll in. They take down the Medivac. For 2 Stalkers. And 2 Stalker kills. These have been expensive trades for ReBellioN. Tank count is quite healthy. ReBellioN ready here for a warp in towards the main. Stalkers towards the natural. Charge did just begin. Oh, as we have a Liberator here at the natural base and Raven harass into the main. ReBellion's not quite in position. Probe's going to be going down. He has to make a rough choice. Does he recall? The answer is no. So 4 probe kills. Delayed mining time. And economically, Astrea, he's quite far ahead. He's looking good. He's up in workers, plus mules. Even on bases, in a sense. ReBellioN, he's not really mining from his third. Boys are still being left idle. And ReBellioN, he is falling apart a little bit here. Ay, ay, ay. Now, there is potential with this backstab. True, there is potential. Could get into the mineral line. Could try and pull Astrea apart. There's a lot of pressure here on ReBellioN, and it's only 3 Zealots. Astrea moves out. He gets spotted. ReBellioN knows. And that drop, it's gearing up. He's getting that drop ready. Zealots, they bust into the main. The reinforcements back at home. Warped will complete, but what about the mine shots? Up on the prism. Prism goes up. SCVs are going to be going down, but Astrea, he's just focusing on his push. He's moving out across the map. He will lose 13 SCVs back at home. This is good damage. But what about the main army? What about the main push? ReBellioN, can he hold? He has force fields. He has force fields. Shield battery just now has begun. Has a handful of Blink Stalkers, 2 Zealots. And the tanks are getting within range. Yeah, tank shots are brutal here on the sentries. Back at home, the Zealots, they were cleaned up. And Astrea, he's gaining ground. Taking down the expansion. Once again, dragging the army within range of the tanks. Oof. Shield battery is done. But there's just not a lot of Protoss left. Yeah, Astrea, he is overwhelming. The Zealots go down. The Immortal has arrived. True. We have the Immortal. ReBellioN, he can try to hold on here. Can buy time for a second Immortal. Tank's trying to reposition. The Prism! Prism rallies in. Not like this. The F2, papi. Ay, ay, ay. ReBellioN now going for a Dark Shrine. I mean, that would have been a great tech choice here after the Zealot drop. But it does feel a little bit late. And the base is getting low. Yeah, ReBellioN, he has to engage. Anti-armor missile here on the Immortal. On the Immortal of all things. Zealots, they take down 1 tank. Second tank is going to go down, but there's just not much left. There's not much left over here. Astrea, he can stim, and he can win. There's 2 Zealots remaining. Now we have that second Immortal. But it is too late. Astrea, he does overwhelm. Breaks through the Immortal, breaks through the Zealots. GG gets called, and Astrea, he will take the series 2-0, advancing on to the quarterfinals. GG. GG. GG, well played. Astrea playing quite well here, and again, even here in this second game, I do think his multitasking was really showcased when it came to pulling apart his opponent. Liberator harass, Widow Mind drop, Raven harass, main push towards the natural as well. ReBellioN had a very hard time keeping up. And he was just torn apart left and right, losing far too many workers. Game 1 was more unfortunate, if you remember. Game 1 was... there was no recall because he didn't have energy. Like, if he had a recall, then maybe we see a different kind of game state in Game 1. Like, that double drop into the main did game-ending damage. It did game-ending damage in Game 1. Here in Game 2, it was more of that multitasking and more of that speed from Astrea, working out well for him. GG, well played. Astrea does take the first series, and that leads us into the quarterfinals. The amount of replays that we have is quite limited, I will say that. So we only have the one match here, the round of 16, into the quarterfinals, semis, and then finals thereafter. And up next, we're going to be featuring two very different players. Up next is going to be a best of 3 between Dark and Epic. Let's go.